Saturday afternoons are made for college basketball as we welcome you on campus at Daytona State College and inside the Lemerand Center. The men set to take center stage as the Falcons 23-6 on the season lace them up to take on Florida State College of Jacksonville. The Blue Wave 7-19 on the year. They're hoping to finish the season on a high note here this afternoon. It is great to be with you from the world's most famous beach. Tom James alongside my partner Ted Sofianos and the Falcons. Ted coming off a tough loss this past Wednesday night. They lost by 2 at Eastern Florida State College, but looking to finish the season on a great note. It's been a terrific season under Coach Brock Morris.
He's done a phenomenal job thus far. He's only been here since May, so I'm really happy for Coach Brock Morris. What you got to see, though, for this particular game is there's some history between the two teams. And, you know, Daytona State has basically blown them out a couple of times. You're looking for something a little bit better from the Blue Wave. And as we go forward, you know, you got to be kind of confident for Daytona State and Brock Morris.
It's always tough to beat a team 3 times. Let's take a look at the starters for the visitors. The Blue Wave from Jacksonville, and Dinero Dumas, guy to watch, 11 points per game, shoots close to 50% from the field. Jaworski also a big threat from behind the arc, averaging 12 points a game. And the head coach, Frank Burnell, in his first season, a former head coach right here at Daytona State, had great success here in Daytona State in the 90s and early 2000s. And for the Falcons of Daytona State, starting all sophomores today on the final regular season home game. They got 7 sophomores on the roster. 5 of them will start, including Kadim C with 17 points a game. Zubair Syed, another 9 points a game. All great contributors, all 5 of those guys. Francois and Williams, a couple of the guys that will come off the bench today who average in double figures. And the head coach, Brock Morris, and he has made his presence known in his first season, a talented young coach, bright future in the business. He's had 10 years of experience at the Division I level with stints at South Alabama, Louisiana, and Alabama. And keep an eye, his teams play tough defense, Ted.
Well, you got, if you're Daytona State, you got to be happy. You got that type of caliber, that type of thoroughbred as far as the coaching goes.
As we are underway.
He's got his brother working for him, by the way, as assistant coach over there. Honestly, I have trouble telling them apart.
Daytona State 23-6, 8-3 in Mid-Florida conference play. First shot missed from outside from Coblin. Florida State College from Jacksonville, the Blue Wave in the road blue uniforms. Daytona State in the home whites. Should be an exciting matchup this afternoon.
This being the 3rd game, these teams will see each other in regular season play. And as mentioned before, Daytona State taking both of those already, 1 at home and 1 at Jacksonville.
Dumas too strong on the 3, but the offensive rebound taken on the weak side, and Dumas is rejected underneath by C.
C is a big body, is he not? C, who is 6'10", out of Dakar, Senegal.
Played at Oak Hill Academy, and a long 3 from C. C for 3 is something we hear often here in the Lemerand Center, and a near steal underneath, but Adim C with the block on one end and a 3-pointer on the other.
You know, Tom James, a poet, and I didn't know it. Well done. Boy, that was a nice stroke, though, by C. Yeah. Way out in the distance. That was pro form right there.
And a long home run pass into the front court. Davis, the recipient. So the Falcons on the board first against the Blue Wave. Minute and a half gone. Long 3 in the air is no good. Span trying to show some range. And a whistle and a traveling violation against Robert Binu.
Span, a scrappy player, very tenacious player.
Of course, we talked about there being 7 sophomores on this roster, and 2 of them, of course, didn't get a chance to start today. That's Bryce Williams and Corbin Merritt, which we'll certainly see both of those guys as the game wears on for Daytona State.
You know, what a following.
Jumper from Eddie Davis.
Brock Morris must have to recruit this kind of talent in such a short span of time.
Well, he came over to us before the game. He says, listen, he said with deadpan face, he said, listen, I've got 7 sophomores and I can only start 5 of them today. Without a smile. Yeah.
Okay. We get it.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Falcons. Coach Morris, and boy, he has really got it down to a science. Very disciplined in the way he runs this team, and more than just basketball with this ball club. He likes them to be great citizens, discipline, character guys. That's what he looks for in players that he brings in here, and all the way to the hole for the bucket. Bldg.
Coach Morris has him doing a lot of like community events, community service events.
And you see the tough pressure applied by the defense after a made basket. It'll belong to Florida State College of Jacksonville. 5-2 here in the early going for the Falcons. Look at this pressure causing the turnover. And Jackson is called for the foul, and that hounding defense played by the Falcons. You always harken back to college basketball back in the 90s. Great Nolan Richardson teams at Arkansas with the defense, and they always called it 40 minutes of hell, and that is exactly what Coach Morris sort of implies here.
Pesky, very pesky defense.
Very much so.
And we were mentioning just now, community service with Brock Morris's team. Also, they have the highest grade point average as a team that they've ever had here at Daytona State, which really says volumes as far as what a scholar athlete is supposed to be. Not only does Brock Morris preach it, he demands it.
Absolutely. And another near turnover. Dvorsky able to hold on to it, but another violation, though, will turn it back over to the Falcons, and this defense is just going to wear you out, as it does a lot of teams through the season.
Hounding
defense. The lead is 3 for Daytona State. Syed leaving off for Binoon. Syed penetrating. Back outside. Binoon for 3, and he drops that one home. Lead up to 6.
And the crowd is excited to see that.
See how tough they make it for the Blue Wave to just get it into the front court. Great jump shot that time from 15 feet from Eddie Davis.
Eddie Davis, nice step back there.
Yep. Trading in. Shot partially blocked for C. Had it back for a moment. Gay puts it up and scores off the glass.
Gay, nice offensive rebound there.
Jackson takes it in and scores the bucket.
Interesting, no call there by the Zebra.
All right, over C. Syed, and it's C for 3.
Oh my.
For a second time in the early stages of the first half, and the lead balloons to 7 for Daytona State.
Man.
Full court pressure, though, defensively. It does so many things for you. Even if there's no turnover, it forces your opposition to eat into the shot clock, and here they are with just 10 seconds to shoot, and they've barely gotten into the half-court set. As the jump shot from Natana is no good. Penetrating and off the glass for the bucket goes Coblin.
Coblin seeing the opportunity there and took it quickly. 3v2.
Jaworski had a good look and can't knock it down.
Surprising, they had numbers. Jaworski just took the three.
Syed along the baseline. It's blocked in there by Dumas. And an offensive foul is called. It's whistled against Zubair Syed of Daytona State.
Yeah. Syed got a little hook on him.
And you talk about depth on this ball club. 5 out and 5 in.
Right.
So,
wow.
Ted Sofianos.
No. You know what he's saying. You will run all day. You will play defense, offense to high tilt degree.
Yeah, but the great thing about it is that all these guys are talented. All of them can play. Knocked away and an offensive set as the Falcons get the turnover.
And there is a future star athlete right there, Bryce Williams with the ball.
Bryce Williams, one of the other sophomores in there with it. Esau also as it's taken away and they turn it over to the Blue Wave.
Just as I say that, Tom, you know, never fails.
Jump shot from 16 is no good from Jackson. A couple of misses from about that point on the floor that have been good looks for the Blue Wave. Got to knock those down when they've got the chance. There's Bryce Williams, no good. Knocked out of bounds. Who's last to touch it? It's
Blue Wave.
Going to belong to the Blue Wave.
Blue Wave ball, yeah.
Talk about the substitution pattern for Coach Morris, and look at this pressure. Everybody stays fresh, like you said.
Look at the trap defense there. Good job by the Blue Wave to get out of it.
Kind of remind you a little bit of John Calipari at Kentucky, how he has all those young players, and we've seen him substitute that way as well. A three from up top is good from Eddie Davis. And the lead is 6. In talking to Coach Brock Morris, he has had discussions with Coach Calipari and asking for advice as Yuri Cadwell hits from the corner.
There's that swarming defense again.
Lead up to 9. Nice bounce pass, but the block from behind by Williams as he goes crashing into the wall back there. But
the athleticism of that young man. Hopefully he's all right.
Talking to Coach Morris, and you know the system that you have here at the JUCO level, where you have players for just 1 or maybe 2 years at best, it's similar to what Coach Calipari works with at Kentucky, where he does the one and done, or maybe he has a couple of guys that stay a couple of years. But he has reached out and asked advice from Coach Calipari and had some great discussions with him on how to handle that. Coach, how do you do it? Certainly a student of the game is Coach Morris. Not afraid to pick up the phone and ask for that advice, and he is just a rising star of a coach.
Well, it's nice when you can pick up the phone and, you know.
And get a call back from John Calipari. Yeah,
That's
not
right.
bad. 3 from the corner, no good as Gentry misses. And a timeout is called for by Frank Burnell of Florida State College. And it's going to be a full timeout with 12:35 remaining here in the opening half. He's seen his team fall behind by 8. And this torrid pace, he's going to have to utilize timeouts wisely against Coach Morris's team. They will wear you down.
Interesting right now as we're looking at the Blue Wave bench, you see somebody wearing an ice pack. That is Span, number 3, who started the game and obviously has a left shoulder injury with that ice pack on him. So far, pretty exciting time. I mean, back and forth, although right now Daytona State pulling away with an 8-point lead here with still 12:35 left.
Perhaps if you were with us earlier today for the women's game between these two schools, is Daytona State and Coach Janice Washington. Victory going away against Florida State College in a game that was tight early, but the bench and the depth of Daytona State in that game was a big difference. And you know, you're kind of going to see some of the same type of situation here in this men's game, Ted, because here is Florida State College of Jacksonville with not much available off the bench today. They've just got the 5 starters. One of their other players has got an ice pack on the shoulder, and maybe one other that is available. So with this pressure that Daytona State applies, it's certainly going to be a challenge for Florida State College to stay fresh. Nice 3. And that is knocked down by David Jaworski. He averages 12 a game this season, and he can certainly drill it from long range. Penetrating in, double clutch. Nice move, Bryce Williams.
Circus shot there. Highlight reel, folks.
And South Center High School, and the steal by Francois. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Good recognition there by Francois. Here's Williams.
Yeah. Contorting his body to get a good look at that one. There's Francois, the talented 6'5" freshman from Fort Myers, Cape Coral High School down there.
You know, we're just talking about Bryce Williams. You know, he's already been picked up by Division I school, Ole Miss, full boat. They've got Cadwell going to Buffalo, Merritt going to Oklahoma, all Division I schools, all full rides.
And Buffalo, what a great program that school is right now, ranked in the top 25 in the country. As that one gets thrown away, and it will belong to the Falcons, making it just such a difficult prospect to just get it across half court, Ted.
My goodness. And I think we're starting to see Coach, Williams' Coach Morris's thought process. Wear them down. They don't have any depth.
3-pointer, good from Williams. And he's starting to heat up. A 12-point lead for the Falcons. Here's Dumas.
You know, they're just going to play hounding, pesky, swarming defense, and when the guys get tired, whoosh, switch them out for the next 5.
That one partially blocked from up top, but that's going to be called a foul as Davis was hit on the arm. The foul is going to go against Corbin Merritt, the sophomore from Tallahassee Godby High School. So Eddie Davis will shoot 3. That was a foul in the act of shooting a 3. First one no good, and these two teams, of course, third meeting here in the regular season. Daytona State winning comfortably in each of the first 2 meetings. Here at home, 69-47 about a month ago, and then they won on the road more recently, 83-53 up in Jacksonville. That one is good. 11-point game now, cut to a 10-point advantage for the Falcons under 11 minutes. Williams, look at that move.
The human highlight reel, Williams.
We've seen a little bit of everything from him already, and we're not even halfway through the opening half here. And a rejection inside by Francois.
Wow. Oh, incredible no look there.
Oh, and another no-look that time from Esau, but Falcons unable to finish.
It did look like a charge there, and Samuel Jackson took it hard in the chest. Ouch.
Jackson gives off Dumas. Natana off the glass and good. A much-needed bucket for the Blue Wave. Lead at 10. Rejection from behind by Natana. We took under 10 minutes left opening half inside the Lemerand Center at Daytona State College. College hoops on a Saturday afternoon. Rejected again, and Merritt, the size just too much.
Wow.
And here we go again. It's
here we go.
5 in, 5 out for the Falcons.
Am I at the hockey rink or the basketball court? Look at the line change. My goodness.
Coach Morris in his first season here, he's a forward-thinking coach. And you can see all the different ways that, he patterns himself after Coach Calipari. That one, a miss from the wing.
It's not a bad mentor or role model to have. I mean, if I'm in stocks, I want Warren Buffett to be my guy, right?
Absolutely, and that one's going to count. The bucket from Syed is good. Check that C on the penetration. Scores, and we'll go to the free throw line.
And again, what a way to get that shot off and put it in for the possible conversion here. The old school conversion coming up right now.
Hadim C, he's a redshirt sophomore. As you talked about from Dakar, Senegal. He also played, as he missed the free throw, also played at the Oak Hill Academy. And if you're a basketball fan, you certainly know the reputation there as being a basketball factory. It's a miss inside by C.
Yeah, C knows that he blew that one.
Three in the air. Jaworski can't get the roll. And a tick under 9 minutes.
Oof.
High arcing three just off the front iron. And the miss from Bldg.
Oh, this had a lot of airtime on it. That was like watching a 30-foot putt.
Nice jump shot. A 17-footer from the wing, Natana.
Nothing but the bottom of the net there.
Still a comfortable 10-point lead for the Falcons.
Side, as you could tell before, very comfortable, the floor general.
There's three in the air off the back iron. Let's see with the offensive board and a fresh shot clock for DSC. What a move in the paint. Wow,
Bldg.
Faking the defender right out of his sneakers. 12-point lead. And a whistle. And Bldg is going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, Bldg a little overzealous there.
Check that. It'll be against. Yes, it is Bldg. The official had at first indicated raw wire was the guilty party. On the blocks, inside, no good from Natana.
Right now, Daytona State looking very confident in their play.
Raw wire. And that won't hurt that confidence at all as he knocks down a three. Largest lead of the half right now, 15 points.
Raw wire, freshman standout. Nice stroke there with that three for raw wire.
Underneath, left for Jackson. Outside, left open is Dumas. And he drains the triple.
Well executed inside out there. take it in, draw the bodies, throw it back out. There's a three-pointer.
Yep. The defense collapsed. He had a good look at it. Okay, inside. Draws the contact, and he'll go to the line. You know, both of these teams, Ted, coming off of losses to the same team, Eastern Florida State. Just this past Wednesday, as we talked about, Daytona State, a very tough loss, 60-58 at Eastern Florida State. Florida State College at Jacksonville's last game was this past Saturday, so they've had a week off, and that was a loss against Eastern Florida State, 81-56. Eastern Florida State, of course, has already earned a bid to the state tournament. They're the top seed in this conference and won the league in the regular season, so they await.
And yeah, they took the number 1 seed with a 2-point win over Daytona State, as you just mentioned. You know, that's how close this conference is right now.
Inside is Kay, lays it in. 14-point lead. Daytona State has already secured, it is the 2nd seed in the conference. Will play a game here on Tuesday night to earn a berth in the state tournament. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the afternoon goes on, as to how that will work. They'll need to win one more game after today to secure a spot in the state tournament. But another timeout with 6:27 left to play in the opening half, and it's a 14-point lead for the Falcons. And where the depth is going to be such a factor, we know that. It's so many guys on this Falcons team can contribute.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're doing full-sale exchanges there, as far as your substitutions go, it's like watching a hockey line. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're just going to – I mean, it's going to be unbearable to try to stay, not to be fatigued for the Blue Wave. I mean, they only got right now 5, and that one gentleman, Span, with the injury, hopefully he can come back in.
They've already played 10 guys. So we've seen the 5-in, 5-out substitution pattern for Coach Morris. Tough for Coach Burnell at Florida State College to counter that. He does not have that many players to substitute in.
Yeah, right now Daytona State at 50% field goal shooting, 50% three-pointers. I mean, that's looking pretty good right now, and obviously a confident lead. 14 points, and just a little bit past the midway point of the first half. 20-minute halves. We got 6:27 remaining.
And it's slipping on the floor, and that's going to be a traveling violation against Dumas. Look, a situation like this is so important, Ted, for the Blue Wave to come out of a timeout with a plan and an opportunity to try to cut into this lead a little bit as we come down the stretch here in the first half. Don't let this get too far out of hand.
Yeah. It's going to be, I mean, it's a tough outlook for Coach Burnell. I mean, I feel for him. Right now, you only got 5. What happens, God forbid, one player has to leave the game for whatever reason.
Yeah. Work it inside. Bldg, and back outside. Here is C. Tries to dump it down. Right place, right time. Cam Cunningham. Up top, C misses on the three-point shot. He's already hit a couple from out there. He's got 8 points. 2 for 2 from three-point land. Now he's 2 for 3. Baseline jumper no good, and foul on the floor. You saw C go way over the top to try to secure that rebound.
The foul is on the docket. Stephen Rawwire, his first personal.
And Rawwire picks up the foul there. He's the freshman. Stephen Rawwire, number 30, from Toronto, north of the border.
Missed that one.
International roster that Coach Morris has. And bouncing around on the rim, and it's who else? Hadim C with the rebound. He's done a little bit of everything here so far today. That's his 7th rebound. Look at the Euro step from Wallwire.
Coach Burnell is saying he took 3 steps. I think he's right.
Well, he will have 2 free throws.
I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, Tom, with the Euro step, but that might have been a Euro step plus.
14-point lead, and Rawwire looking to add to it, and it does.
And it doesn't look like Coach Burnell is going to get anybody off the bench.
Well, he's used 6 of the 7 players that are available here today. Of course, Nantana has come off the bench. Have changed the call on that. Eddie Davis is going to be the one charged with the foul against the Blue Wave. That's got Rawwire on the line.
Not a lot of stoppage in play thus far. It's been a pretty quick 15 minutes thus far.
Yeah. 38-22. That pressure, Jaworski needing help. They get it into the front court, but then they turn it over. Cunningham, yes, all the way to the rack. Wow. Cam Cunningham, his first points of the afternoon. Largest lead of the half for the Falcons at 18. Quickly back the other way. Samuel Jackson able to answer.
That was nice work by Jackson. He was almost directly under the rim.
Yeah, nice move all the way. It's that man again, Cam Cunningham. So 4 quick ones.
Both first righty, now lefty.
That's right. He's a freshman from Greenville, South Carolina. And that one thrown away. Syed wisely pulls up, but then turns it over. A sloppy basketball that time by the Falcons. And a foul on the floor is going to be whistled. It'll be against the Blue Wave.
7. Checking for Daytona State, number 15, Jordan Copeland. 12, Chad Vincent Simon. 13, Down. 23 for Lemerand.
4:08 left to play here in the half. The Blue Wave, of course, with just the 1 conference victory this season in the Mid-Florida Conference, are coming into this 1-10 in league play, 7-19 overall.
You know, you got 14 players total on the roster for Daytona State. I think he's used almost every single one of them.
Well, they've had 10 guys in to this point. As the first free throw goes, 42-25 right now. So deep bench right there for Coach Morris. Man. An embarrassment of riches. And the free throw is good from Dumas.
16-point lead, down to 4 minutes of play. Syed out.
Under 4 minutes left. Copeland cut off on the baseline, and a foul is called. It's going to be against Dumas.
Dumas got too much body into him.
Everybody's been in the game now for Coach Morris. 12 players available, and they've all been on the court here in the first half. Inside. Turnaround from Merritt, no good. Fight for it underneath, one of those 50-50 balls, and great effort from the Blue Wave to come out of there with it. Under 3.5 left in the first half. 16-point game. Falcons have led by as many as 18. Shot from the corner is no good. Falcons push it. Be known. Along the baseline, that's going to be a blocking foul against the Blue Wave.
Yeah, kind of an easy call to make there.
Yeah,
because he was right under, he was right into the zone there.
Came sliding in late, so too late to have drawn the foul as Jordan Copeland goes to the line. The redshirt sophomore, front iron on the front end of the 1-and-1. Here's Cenero Dumas. Back outside, Davis spinning in the lane. Nice pass, but double dribble is the call against Eddie Davis.
Well, they didn't get him for the charge, so they got him for the double dribble.
2:42 on the clock. Three ball in the air. It is no good. It's tapped out. Saved over there by Vincent Simon and underneath. And the bucket is made by Copeland.
Copeland with a little old school finger roll there. Well done.
Matching the largest lead of the game so far at 18, and the pressure just stifling Beanown. And unable to finish Cunningham, but they get the rebound and have a new shot clock and an offensive set as we tick under 2 minutes to play in the half.
Coach Morris barking out the orders.
All the way with the left hand. Copeland scores the bucket.
Ooh, Copeland's cagey.
Got 6 points. .20 game. Blocked from behind by Merritt. All the way, Cunningham fouled and hits the deck hard. None the worse for wear as he gets up, but he was headed in there quick, and he'll go to the free throw line. Another look at it right here, Ted. A great pass by Vincent Simon, and wanted to deny the basket, and that's what they did.
Didn't look like he went for the ball all that much there.
First free throw is good, and for the first time this afternoon, Gunnar Gentry going to check into the game for Florida State College of Jacksonville, number 22. As Eddie Davis takes a seat, Gentry averaging just a little over a point a game. Cunningham knocks down the free throw to extend the lead to 22. Taken away. Copeland going all the way, draws the foul, and Gentry will be whistled for it.
Copeland, obviously some excellent one-on-one skills.
Yeah, he's got a quick first step, does this young man. A great point guard. He's the sophomore from Boca Raton and Grandview Prep down there. Makes the first free throw. Redshirt sophomore. Averages close to 4 points a game. Knocks them both home. Halfway to 100. Daytona State. 50-26 with a minute left here in the first half. Jaworski finding Jackson, but denied at the rim by Merritt. And a three-pointer. Dumas hits one left wing. They needed that, did the Blue Wave. Final minute of the half. Merritt, no good.
Yeah, Daytona State obviously pulling away here, 21-point lead with the first half. You mentioned 50 points already. They average 87 points per game, and they're obviously ahead of that at this point.
Matana missing underneath, so final possession for the Falcons. They lead it by 21. Heavily favored coming into this game. Certainly depth a big factor. Look at Copeland. Gets it off, and Merritt scores to beat the buzzer. And a great 20 minutes of basketball, Ted Sofianos, from this Daytona State ball club, as they lead it by 23, dominated really in all phases of the game.
Yeah, and when you can, wholesale exchange your starters and switch them interchangeably without any issues as far as where the score was going, Coach Brock Morris got to be happy.
Yeah, and he's just done a great job of leading this team, bringing them together this season. Of course, 12 different players with playing time here in this first half. Nobody in double digits, but everybody contributing as they lead it 52-29. Well, at Daytona State College, coaches and athletes take academics seriously, and with the new stadium and the support of the athletic community, there are many reasons to consider enrolling at Daytona State College. Let's take a look at some of the programs offered here at Daytona State.
You're busy over the holidays. We get it. At Daytona State College, we know a thing or two about how to help you stay on track. Our 7-week express courses start March 18th, so you still have time to get started on a new career. What are you waiting for? Apply today. Lock in your class schedule and financial aid by going to daytonastate.edu/apply or call 386-506-4DSC. It's time to express yourself.
Here at Daytona State College, we have an education program as well as a service program for our student athletes. An athletic trainer is a highly trained, skilled medical professional who's licensed and certified to provide services to a wide range of people with injuries and medical conditions. We collaborate with physicians to provide preventive services, emergency care, clinical diagnosis, therapeutic intervention, rehabilitative services. We probably see an average of 30 or 35 students per day, and that is mostly for treatments before practice and after practice. That doesn't count the people who just grab an ice bag. We provide most of their medical care, at least in terms of their injuries that they suffer as student athletes. Athletic trainers actually attend all their practices and their games so that if something happens during those practices or games, we are there when it happens. We can see it happen and we know exactly what type of care to provide. Sometimes it's emergency care, sometimes it's just come and see me after practice and we'll look at that.
So our student athletes have an aquatic center available to them that they can utilize for their workout strength conditioning programs. And the benefit of having an aquatic center is they can do some workouts that aren't as tough and helps your muscles and joints kind of have a break for that, but you're still getting a very, very good workout in. Student athletes who are coming back from injuries, they can go in the pool and utilize the pool. Our soccer team, they may have a lot of heated days where they're out in the sun and they're running, and they can come into the pool, still get a great workout in that will benefit them when they go back on the field, but they don't have those other elements that are affecting them. The training you do really varies based upon where you're at within your year training cycles. A team that's in season, they may come in here once or twice a week, and it's really doing more maintenance, not doing heavy weights, but doing exercises and things that will prevent injuries and maintain what they worked for in the off season. Off season, they're probably in here 5 days a week. Every day they're not working on legs, or every day they're not working on arms, but they're splitting up their workouts. So they're in here 5 days a week, working hard and getting after it. Nearly year-round, you'll find our student athletes in here either a couple times a week or every single day.
I'm a nutrition professor here at Daytona State College, and I'm also a sports dietitian that works with all of our athletic teams. So many times I get asked, what should an athlete eat? It's going to depend upon their sport, the position that they play, the time of year, like what part of the season they're in. Are they in season? Are they out of season? But basically when we think about creating a winning plate, we think about having 3 things on the plate. Number 1 is lean protein. So that could be something like chicken, fish, lean beef. And then to that we want our athletes to load up on fruits and veggies. So you might have a good portion of the plate be vegetables. And this is to supply vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that athletes need for recovery. And then the third part of the plate obviously is going to have some carbohydrates on it. And so we prefer them to eat healthy carbs, so maybe something like a sweet potato, brown rice for example, and carbs are going to give them the fuel to be able to perform and recover from that day's workout.
It's time to claim your career. At Daytona State College, our new Database Technology Associate degree positions students for high-paying jobs managing databases to drive business strategies. Plus, our Engineering Technology Associate degree includes a new specialization in additive manufacturing. That's 3D printing, a rapidly expanding technology. Prepare for a new career or advance where you work now. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
The Daytona State College of Education is forever grateful to Volusia and Flagler County Schools and our collaborative partnership that allows us to spend this exciting time out in the field working with these wonderful students, doing one-on-one reading instruction 4 days a week.
Daytona State has definitely prepared me for being a teacher with all the field work that we've been able to experience through the program, as well as the support and help from all of our wonderful professors. And being able to work one-on-one with the students has been a wonderful opportunity to experience that already before I get placed in my senior internship.
So today, we're going to learn about something that I think is really fascinating. We're going to be learning about weather balloons.
In the IMES lab, we have state-of-the-art equipment that help us further our research.
Going to be surveying these seagrass beds here at Oak Hills and looking at how they're changing over time.
I love doing this, coming out into the field and actually getting my hands dirty. And
you get to do everything you've ever wanted to do in a marine biology program. You get to go out into the field and actually do the work.
We are truly building a program here for students that are interested in conducting undergraduate research. It's a rather rigorous program for a 2-year college.
I'm going out and studying horseshoe crab populations and seeing where their nesting sites are and how often they nest where they are.
The professors motivate us, they inspire us to continue our research and to better ourselves in the scientific community.
This is much better than sitting in a classroom just looking at pictures and listening to people talk. We get to actually feel and see the plants in their natural habitat.
I love this class. I love everything about it, the learning of the names of the flowers. Now it's like putting a name with a face.
Thinking about college? Direct Connect at Daytona State College can put you on the fast track to UCF. Through Direct Connect, DSC and UCF will guide you from your freshman year at DSC through your senior year at UCF, leading you on a path toward success. In fact, when you earn your AA at DSC, you are guaranteed admission as a junior to any Florida public university. Find out more at daytonastate.edu or call 386-506-4DSC.
It's time to claim your career. Daytona State's newest certificate program in hospitality beverage science combines theory and practical hands-on instruction on a range of beverage production processes like craft brewing and wines. Learn how to pair wines and beer with appropriate food choices, produce various styles of beers and wines, as well as how to manage, merchandise, and market beverages. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
Welcome back inside the Lemerand Center. On the campus of Daytona State College, Tom James alongside Ted Sofianos, getting ready for the second half. Daytona State, an impressive first 20 minutes. Ted, they dominated, leading by 23 over the Blue Wave from Florida State College of Jacksonville, 52-29. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the first half, and a lot of high-flying action on both ends of the floor for Daytona State, but it's really that defensive pressure that gets the whole thing started for the Falcons.
Oh, there's been a wealth of athleticism demonstrated by both teams, but obviously with the short bench that Jacksonville has and the way Brock Morris is just, full sail change.
Yeah.
Each time he has the opportunity. And you have such a deep bench, you're just wearing those other guys out on Jacksonville's side.
Well, we saw the substitution patterns that we talked about a couple of times, in the first half for Coach Brock Morris at Daytona State. The 5 in and 5 out, and when it was all said and done, he played all 13 guys that he's got dressed. All 13 of them saw at least several minutes of playing time in the first half.
That's amazing. And to think that Daytona State is the second seed in the conference after watching talent like that.
Yeah, well, they're the second seed, and of course the Mid-Florida Conference postseason tournament is coming up this week, Monday and Tuesday. Eastern Florida State has already clinched the top seed, and they will secure a spot in the state playoffs. But one other team from the conference is looking for a spot in that state tournament, which will be up in Ocala. Daytona State will host the game on Tuesday night right here on this floor at the Lemerand Center. They'll play the winner of Santa Fe or the College of Central Florida. They'll play the winner of that game on Tuesday night for the right to earn a berth into the state tournament. So they're one win away, essentially, from making it to that next step, which is state tournament. And Coach Morris's first season would be such an accomplishment.
My hat's off to him. And as I mentioned before, the man must be a recruiting machine. Notice he has some cachet up there in Canada. Look at all the Ontario folks that we have on the team. They have 4 of them. Really an international squad, but of course a number of them from Florida.
And you take a look at the banners that are up in the rafters here at the Lemerand Center. Don't forget that some of the great predecessors to Brock Morris as the head coach here at Daytona State, one of them is sitting on the other bench here today. Of course, Frank Burnell, the head coach at Florida State College of Jacksonville, spent the year between the seasons of 1993 and 2003 here at Daytona State, won a number of conference championships. There he is on the left, and certainly a great resume and a great career that he has had. And this is his first season, kind of getting back into it in the Mid-Florida Conference as the head man for the Blue Wave. But he's responsible for a lot of these banners that are up here.
Oh, I'm sure he can point to a few of those right now that are still up there.
Underway here in the second half, and we'll see if the Blue Wave can get off to a quick start. Try to make this competitive in the second half. For Daytona State, 3 guys leading the way with 8 points. C, Coblin, and Gay all with 8 points. And a 3-second violation against the Falcons will turn it over. Eddie Davis with 9 for the Blue Wave to lead the way. Dumas has 8.
And there you saw again Daytona State be relentless with the full court press defense.
Top of the circle, a 3 on the way, and good from Samuel Jackson.
Jackson did well to come back from the miss that he just had right before that play.
Dying to know Samuel Jackson's middle name, if by chance it starts with an L. Turnaround on the baseline is no good from Gay.
Well, let's see what happens with Jacksonville after that bit of a rest they had for halftime.
A little more than a minute gone here in the second half. Yeah, poked away. B-Noon all the way with the two-handed jam.
Wow, B-Noon, 6'2", getting up there so easy.
Dumas into the front court is fouled by B-Noun, who just came up with that big jam. Interesting, something we noticed there from Coach Morris as that dunk was going in. Morris was not looking at the dunk. He was looking back down at the other end of the floor at a couple of his guys that didn't get back to pick up that full court trap after the dunk went in. And he was yelling at those guys. There's a 3-ball, right wing, no good.
I get the feeling that Coach Brock Morris is a perfectionist.
100%. Off the glass, no good from Duguay. But after a dunk, he's expecting that full court trap and that full court pressure, and a couple of guys still here in the backcourt.
And his point is, his point is, I don't care what the lead is, that's not how we do things here.
Yep. B-Noon is rejected inside nicely by Jaworski. Second chance, no. B-Noun still coming away with it. Jaworski with that nice block, though, a moment ago. And a whistle. Foul's going to go against David Jaworski. And a timeout called for by Coach Morris. It's a 30-second timeout, but he's got a couple of things that he's looking at his team like, you know, the dunk was great. Appreciate the steal.
Right.
Thanks for the points. But, you know what we do, guys, after we score a bucket?
Yeah.
The defense is right there, full court pressure, and if you guys aren't going to come down here and participate, then, you know, I've got plenty of other guys on the bench that'll come right out and do it for you.
Like you said, I've got another 8 guys,
Yeah,
right?
right?
13 playing. I got another 8 guys who'd be dying to get in there to take your spot, guys. So you do as I say if you want to play.
Absolutely. Well, it separates the good ones from the great ones, and you just have that sense watching Coach Morris, such a young guy with a lot of talent. You just sense that he's going to be around this profession for a long time. He really lives it, and he's going to be successful.
And besides perfectionism, I see just so much intensity from that guy. He's an intense character.
Jordan Copeland scores the bucket. He's got 10 points into double figures.
You know, and if you are on the losing end of a Coach Brock Morris match, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not that he wants to extend the lead and beat your daylights out. He just wants his kids to continue in the same groove that they were in.
It's all about the process.
Right.
You know, continue the process. We are here to play this afternoon for 40 minutes.
Exactly.
So that's what we're doing today.
All right, Moneyball friend. It's the process.
That's what. Penetrating in off the glass. No good from Jackson. Esau coming off that pass. Able to be handled there. There's a big smile on the face of Bldg.
He says, come on, I'm 6'7" or 6'8". Come on, I'm up here. Not down there by my shoestrings.
That's right. Bldg going in for the block, but Eddie Davis able to get past him and scores the bucket. 56-34. Yeah, well, still in the opening minutes here of the second half at the Lemerand Center. Tom James, so happy to be with you, working alongside my partner Ted Sofianos, and Daytona State throws it away. Jordan Copeland, and he'll give it back to the Blue Wave.
Yep, on the latter half of a doubleheader. Really been great to be working with you again, Tom. And certainly kudos to our crew, bringing you high-definition television at WDSC TV.
Tremendous crew from top to bottom here in the arena, camera folks, and back in the control room. Phenomenal job. Just under 16 minutes left to play, and it seemed like a gimme from Natana does not fall.
What I've noticed for the Blue Wave is that Davis really been a standout for them thus far today.
And a little 3-on-2. Can the Blue Wave convert? No, as Dumas couldn't finish at the rim right there.
You know, as I'm sure we'll see a camera go back to Coach Brock Morris, he looks angry all the time as he's coaching. I know it's not angry, it's just intensity.
It's intensity,
right.
Yeah. We have a job to do. And up and under. Wow, that's a terrific move by Bldg. That should bring a smile to his face. But
Highlight. Highlight reel. Nope, no smile.
We're on a journey. Here's Davis.
Wow.
And they turn it back over again. 3 seconds. Inside called against Jaworski. And it's tough going right now for this Blue Wave team. Only 7 players dressed. Nearly a steal. Great anticipation from Natana.
And, you know, you mentioned the word process before, and obviously what's tied into that word is constant, continuous focus.
Oh, what a nice step inside. And Copeland scores.
Gorgeous jump step there. Woo.
The trap at half court. And a 10-second violation. They did not get it across in time, and many an opponent against Daytona State this season has fallen victim to that. Take another look at this defense. This is the jump step they were talking about from Copeland a moment ago offensively, and scoring the bucket. That's a sweet move in the paint.
Pretty to watch, but my knees were hurting watching him do that. Wow.
And here he is again, penetrating, making that extra pass inside, and able to convert and finish is Bldg, and the foul.
And that got 3 claps out of Brock Morris.
That's right. Well, we talked about the Copeland that time and making that extra pass. That time he, saw another man. Bldg had an opportunity to get even a better look at the basket, and he delivered the ball, and he did just that as he misses the free throw. Lead is 28 for the Falcons.
Wow.
6 minutes gone, second half. Third inning of the season between these two teams. Daytona State won at home earlier this year, 69-47. Matana on the miss, all the way. And Copeland lays it in. And in Jacksonville, it was a 30-point blowout win for the Falcons, 83-53.
And the way they're going right now, they could surpass that, especially with the...
And they lead it by 30 right now.
The tiny bench, yeah.
There's Copeland again, scoring and drawing that foul.
Yeah, I think Coach Burnell has a point there from that last offensive possession.
Copeland leading all scorers with 16, and he has been on fire early stages here in the second half.
He knows how to dart and weave.
He sure does.
And here we got 3 more players coming in. Wow.
Substitutions. A crafty guy, though, Copeland. He's going to stay in the ball game. Yeah, the Blue Wave set to inbound, and they've got that pressure to face once again. Great job of getting Jaworski to the middle. And he will head to the free throw line on the possible 3-point play opportunity. Jaworski, a terrific job back in the backcourt of helping beat that pressure.
Nice, yes, and then Samuel Jackson going to get the old school attempt here for the 3-point conversion.
And it's Jackson, the freshman, knocks home the free throw. He's got 10 points into double figures, Samuel Jackson. Off the glass, no good. A whistle, and it's headed the other way. That's an offensive foul going to be called against Robert Binown. Down from Cameroon. Talked about the international lineup for Daytona State. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Relentless, absolutely relentless pressure.
4 different countries represented on Coach Brock Morris's roster. He's got a couple of players from Senegal. He's got a couple of players from Canada. Of course, the United States. Cameroon.
I mean, if you're the Blue Wave right now, how tired are you? How tired are you getting full court pressed each possession on when you come out in the offense?
And really not able to do much in the way of substitution. And look at that rejection right there by Cunningham. He just came back in the game a couple of moments ago. And Copeland able to keep the possession alive after slipping. That one knocked away by Jackson. And a kick is called. It's going to belong to the Blue Wave. You know, and you look at the scoreboard, Teddy, and it's a 30-point ball game. You got to feel for this Blue Wave team. Again, 7 players dressed. Not much in the way of substitutions with those other 2 guys. A little bit. Matania's played a lot of minutes, but Span has been in there. He's only played 4 minutes. Gentry has only played 1.
Yeah, I didn't see the injury to Span, and he was a starter.
Yeah, and yet here they are fighting against full court pressure on nearly every trip as we tick under 12 minutes left. Not giving up, not going away as Jaworski throws it away. Up top 3. Raw wire, no, it bounces over the top of the backboard beyond the stanchion, and it'll belong to Florida State College.
Obviously a tremendous amount of respect from his players for Brock Morris. They really respond to him.
Well, they know he's the real deal. He's all about character. Long after the game is over and the practices are over, it's a lifestyle. You know, being a good contributor in the classroom. There's there's that element. And there's the community element that he also is big on. So being a well-rounded person, basketball is just part of it as Benoon scores again. 9 minutes gone here, second half. Largest lead of the game for Daytona State at 32. Inside, a nice move. Stick-to-itiveness there by Natana. Good to score.
Good job, Natana.
He's got 7. He came off the bench.
Yep.
And it's a shuffle of the feet and a traveling violation against Cunningham. You know, one of the things that kind of amazed both of us, Ted, this season is you watch this Daytona State team, how talented they are, top to bottom, the incredible depth, the international quality of this roster. They go 13 deep as Davis knocks down the jump shot in traffic.
Yeah, Davis has been really the standout so far in this game for the Blue Wave. I've enjoyed the way he's shot, taken on the defenders
Cunningham
of Daytona. Yeah, Cunningham knocked out. Sorry about that.
By Jackson. But you know, this Falcons team, with really everybody from the top of the roster all the way down is talented. And yet they didn't win the regular season in the conference. So what does that say about the Mid-Florida Conference? That Eastern Florida State won 2 of 3 from Daytona State in the regular season, and just by virtue of that, claimed the regular season conference title. Of course, they defeated Daytona State just the other night by 2 over in Melbourne. They're very closely matched. As Coblin misses. But at least on paper, there's a team better than this one in this conference right now. That's on paper. Now,
hard to believe.
They've done it. They've done it on the court as well. They've won 2 of 3 from them, but you know, and they could meet again. But it says a lot about the MFC.
I think if you're the Blue Wave right now, you're just trying to stop the bleeding. You know, with a 28-point deficit, you just don't want it to go up further.
Well, they are fighting, and you got to tip your cap to Coach Burnell and his staff and team coming south today with a short bench, and they're competing and competing hard. They'll even mop up the perspiration. I mean, they do it all.
These guys, exactly, they do it all. Multitaskers.
Yes, Jaworski taking care of things under there.
You know, since we are here at the home court for Daytona State, obviously keeping up that full court press, For the 6th straight year, Tom, U.S. News and World Report placed Daytona State in the top tier of the nation's best online bachelor's programs.
Fantastic. Great institution.
They're going to be opening up an 84,000 square foot building soon.
Steele. Goblin gives off, and Benoon jams it home. And the Falcons bench erupts.
The crowd, the bench, everybody's responding to that one.
Everybody. The Falcons bench in unison to its feet. And a rejection on the other end from Merritt.
Oof.
Merritt with 5 blocks this afternoon, and a 30-second timeout is taken by the Falcons. Another look at this one. Goblin giving off. Benoon jamming it home.
Climb the ladder.
Absolutely.
Woo!
A 30-point lead, 7:59 left on the clock. This team is ferocious.
Doing a little bit of Trivial Pursuit for some of the young ones here attending at the Gail Lemerand Center here.
Yeah. You know, as we talked about a minute ago with the rivalry, if you will, developing, of course, again, Daytona State against Eastern Florida State, and numbers 1 and 2 seeding-wise in the Mid-Florida Conference in the regular season. They played 3 times. Eastern Florida State won 2 of the 3. The first time they met this season, it was Daytona State on the road that blew Eastern Florida State out. I mean, owned them 95-61. The next meeting, they came back here to Daytona. Eastern Florida State rebounded with an 8-point victory, 88-80. So the rubber match was just past Wednesday at Eastern Florida State. 2-point game. And the Falcons coming up just short on that one to lose the conference regular season with a beautiful move from Cunningham to take it to the 10. So closely matched up, but that cost them the automatic championship and automatic berth to the state tournament. So they got to play one more game this Tuesday night in the conference tournament to seal the deal and get that berth into the state tournament, which will happen in the coming weeks up in Ocala at the Patriot Gym where the College of Central Florida plays.
And something tells me they have a good opportunity to do so after watching them today again.
Davis just beats the shot clock but can't knock the 3 down. 7 minutes left.
There's no give up in the Blue Wave, though. There's no give up in them. Good for coach, good for the team.
Underneath, a foot on the baseline is the call. It looks like Corbin Merritt. Those big sneakers. Touching the end line down there.
Talking about sneakers, you see that blowout.
Yeah, Zion Williamson of Duke with the Nike the other night.
Yeah.
Tweaking the knee a little bit. That's not good. Hopefully he's going to be okay and get back in the lineup very soon for the Blue Devils. Really one of the favorites. Make a trip to the Final Four coming up in March and April.
Looking forward to March Madness.
Oh, there's no better time. It just isn't.
It's the happiest time of the year.
No question. Inside, what a move. Unable to finish is Merritt. Merritt's the one so strong on defense. He got those 5 block shots tonight. Make it 6. Another rejection from the 6'9" sophomore, Merritt.
You know, I mentioned this before, the wealth of athleticism on both teams, but obviously Daytona State truly shining today.
Yeah, Merritt is the ultimate denier inside. (73-41), 6:06 left to play in the ball game. Final game of the regular season. Falcons trying to win their 24th game. Raw wire taking it all the way to the 10 for the bucket. He's quietly gotten 7 points tonight.
You hear Coach yelling out, play the right way, even though it's a 34-point deficit for the Blue Wave.
Nice 3 ball from up top, Samuel Jackson. Copeland in the corner, and that's an air ball. Not even close that time for Merritt. Less than 5 minutes to play. Jackson, yes, scores again.
Coach right now not giving a lot of playing time to some of the star athletes on the team. Just kind of spreading it out to others who have not played as much this particular season.
Bryce Williams, seen a lot of him today, especially in the second half. Averaging about 16 points a game. Williams has only played 5 minutes this afternoon, so all of this without their leading scorer, other than those 5 minutes in which he did score 7 points in 5 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
So he made the most of it.
He is one heck of an exciting player. You can see why he's going to one of the top teams in the country.
Hadim C, 11 minutes. Their other leading scorer. Haven't seen much of him here in the second half either. Baseline jumper missed from Natana. And a 3 ball, no good. Skying for the rebound, Merritt. Second chance, and he draws the foul. You look at this team, and you see what we just talked about. Hadim C, averaging 17 a game. Bryce Williams averaging 16 a game. Not many minutes played today from either one of those guys, and yet still a 29-point lead. What does this team not possess in terms of abilities? They've got it all. They do it on offense. They do it on defense, of course, which is really what starts it all for this ball club. Great shot blocker in there with Merritt. They can shoot it from outside. They've got the size inside.
No, they've got every tool in the box.
They've got it all, and they got the depth.
Be surprising not to see Daytona State go far into the finals here in Florida.
And who knows, maybe beyond that. This is a dangerous, dangerous ball club. Take a look at what we've got coming up for you. The live broadcast of Daytona State Athletics on March 6th. Turn our attention to baseball. And the Falcons hosting Santa Fe at 3 o'clock. Softball on March 19th against Santa Fe. March 28th, more softball at 4 o'clock in the afternoon against Lake Sumter. And then into April we go with a baseball clash. April 3rd, College of Central Florida. Of course, you can watch us here live. If you'd like to come on out to the ballpark and watch it in person, we certainly invite you to do that as well.
And mind you, folks, I mean, that was the live broadcast. There's a number of other games. Come and check the schedule on the DSC website. If you want to come to some of these games that are held here in the Daytona area.
A great athletic program from top to bottom in all sports. As Merritt hits the free throw.
I mean, women's golf, another one.
Tremendous program, yeah. Merritt makes one of two. 30-point lead, 76-46. A couple of coaches going at each other today in their first seasons, their respective schools. Frank Burnell, longtime coach in this profession, his first season with Florida State College. Jackson gives off. Denero Dumas draws the contact. And Brock Morris, there's Coach Burnell, but of course, many longtime supporters, followers, fans here at Daytona State College know him. Spent many years as the head coach in this very gymnasium. A lot of the banners up in the rafters, as we talked about earlier, he's responsible for. Free throw no good. We tick towards the 3-minute mark. So we dip under 3 minutes left. Daytona State has got this one well in hand, Ted. A three-pointer from outside, no good from Eddie Davis.
Good job for none of the Blue Wave teammates to foul out at this point.
Yeah. Which is just what we saw from the women's team earlier today when we had the broadcast of the women's game. And they were, shorthanded, short bench, 7 players, and somehow, some way, they were able to keep everybody active through 40 minutes.
I mean, they've spread the fouls out. I mean, you got 11, 12, 13 fouls approximately in the Blue Wave team, but they're spread out throughout 6 players. And Tana with the most at 3.
76-46 with 2.5 to play, and a whistle out front. Foul on Cunningham. It's his first.
It's a silly foul there. No need for that. 30-point difference. No need to be fouling here.
Yeah, the free throw no good. Raw wire.
Working the clock down.
Cunningham with 10 seconds on the shot clock when Merritt puts it up and draws the contact, and he'll go back to the line. And Dumas picks up his 4th personal foul. First free throw is good.
Daytona State here, as I said, the home club, has awarded over 100,000 degrees, Tom, since 1957, including 3,000 bachelor's degrees.
That's so impressive.
They got 2 basically new programs. They got women's volleyball, men's and women's cross country. Those were recent. And then men's and women's soccer just a few years ago.
Ever growing. Inside, a nice rejection there by Merritt.
Oh,
that'll be his, count for his 6th block, if my stats are correct. As Spinone, who had the big dunk earlier, not able to convert that time. 1.5 to play in the Lemerand Center.
He can climb the ladder quickly.
And a rejection in there from Cunningham. And a technical foul. Going to be whistled against Daytona State and Cam Cunningham. And I think it's hanging on the rim maybe, Ted.
Yeah, he was hanging on there way too long. He was anticipating the pass, but here's the highlight.
Take another look on the alley-oop. It was rejected. And, you know, just I don't mean to be a contrarian, but he almost kind of to protect himself there as he sort of his legs swung under. He kind of needed to hang on for a minute, but.
Yeah, because he caught it in the back by his own teammate, which was Chad Vincent Simon. And like you just said, I think he was just trying to protect himself. Oh, that's okay. You know, at the end of the day, this is not going to mean too much, that technical foul.
And they wave off the technical foul. So they must have heard us.
Are we that good, Tom?
Yeah, we'd like to think so. As we come up on a minute left to play. Daytona State on its way to its 24th victory of the season. Nice move to the hoop. Samuel Jackson came up limping a little bit after that one.
Yeah, twisted it a bit. He's been very solid today.
It's just, you can't take anything at all away from this Florida State College team with just 7 players dressed against this monster program at Daytona State.
Yeah.
Goes 13 deep. All the way. Nice way to finish right there from Dinero Dumas. Dinero is money on that trip down the floor. 4-second difference. Game clock to shot clock for the Falcons. And what may be their final possession of the afternoon and their final possession of the regular season. One more game to come for the Falcons. It'll be Tuesday night right here at the Lemerand Center. They will play either Santa Fe or the College of Central Florida for the right to go to the state tournament.
And that should be an exciting one. I would encourage everybody to come on out and watch that game here at the Gail L. Lemerand Center here on International Speedway Boulevard. Right near the where they just had the Daytona 500, where the track is.
Absolutely. Davis comes out of the game with the foul.
I've enjoyed watching Davis play, really have.
Yeah. He finishes with 13 points. Samuel Jackson with 15 leads the way for the Blue Wave. A couple of guys in double digits for the Falcons. Jordan Coblin with 17. Bldg with 12. Rawwire just got his 8th. Make it 9.
And this should be it right here, Tom.
Final seconds. Tick away. Florida State College of Jacksonville finishes the regular season 7-20, 1-11 in Mid-Florida Conference play. Daytona State 24-6, 9-3 in conference play as coaches Burnell and Morris greet each other. These players shake hands. The final score, Daytona State 80, Florida State College of Jacksonville 50, and quite the afternoon, Ted, for this Falcons ball club as they set themselves up for one game on Tuesday here in the Lemerand Center to try to advance to the state tournament. They look sharp today.
Oh, they look great. My hat's off to Brock Morris, his program, his process, as you had mentioned before. The focus that those scholar athletes have all throughout the game, relentless, swarming, pesky, absolutely persistent, both sides of the court. Brock Morris got to be happy with this win.
Jordan Coblin with 17 points, Bldg with 12 points. Those are both of the guys that are in double digits As we take a look at some of the highlights from this afternoon's matchup, got to hand it to Samuel Jackson, the Blue Wave, 17 points. Davis, 13. Denaro Dumas wound up with 10 to be in double figures. But well, there were just so many guys. You see Copeland right there that just relentless. They come at you in waves to the Falcons.
How many weapons does Brock Morris have?
So
and now
many.
The question is going to be, can they utilize them effectively to win out and get that state title?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Of course, once again, they will take on the winner of the Monday night game, Santa Fe versus the College of Central Florida. The winner of that game will play here Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, for the right to go to the state tournament. So the final score today from the Lemerand Center, Daytona State 80, Florida State College of Jacksonville 50. For Ted Sofianos and our entire crew, thanks for joining us today. I'm Tom James. We appreciate you watching Daytona State College basketball on WDSC. So long from Daytona Beach.